everybody, Greg W. Anderson with Awaken the King. Now, one of the things about my past life is I was a corporate consultant. I built a program called Jumping the Gap. Now, Jumping the Gap eventually evolved into Awaken the King. But while I was doing that, I put together a lot of great content. I'd love to give all of that information to you now for free, so please enjoy. In this video, we're going to cover the 5 core principles that make being successful online possible. Core principle number 1. Marketing is life, and life is marketing. Now, there's never anything that we don't do in our business, in our home life, in our church or society that doesn't have something to do about marketing. You're trying to get a desired result. Your result is to go on a date with your wife. You just want to hold her hand. You got to dress nice, get her some flowers, take her to a nice dinner. Or maybe you're trying to sell that next product online. You have to figure out, how do I package it? What's the positioning of that product? How do I resonate with that next person and give them so much value that they want to give me a credit card online or they want to buy that product? There isn't anything that we can physically do that doesn't have something to do with marketing. If I don't want to dress up in the morning, I want to be grungy, that's me marketing that I'm in a bad mood. I want to be grungy today. The next position is I want to wear a suit and tie because I'm going to meet with the bank. I don't wear a suit and tie every day, but that's what they expect. So I'm going to market to them. I'm going to find out who my client is, who my target is. I'm going to go find them, find the right marketing position for them, and I'm going to build that into who I am or what I'm doing or even the message that I'm positioning today. So no matter what we have, no matter what we do, life is marketing and marketing is our life. Now, the consequence of not understanding this philosophy is you're not going to have any leads, you're not going to have any sales, you're not going to have any money, and that means no business. Core principle number 2, your power to produce is driven by your personal accountability. Now, what I mean by this is anything that you do, touch, smell, act upon, create, you're responsible for it. Let's take an example of an employee, and you're just not getting the desired result for them. Well, you didn't create the perfect system for them. Perfect system by what I mean is let's assume somebody's writing your ad copy, and they're saying words that you just don't like. You probably didn't tell them in the first place. You didn't say, this is the outline that I'm looking for. Follow these steps in order to create it. And if they can't, they're accountable for that action. You need to replace them. And if you didn't, you're not accountable for your own business. It could be anything in life. It could be from the way you pick out your cars, to the way that you pick out your clothes, to the money that you make, to what you do next step, to the charities that you give for. You're accountable for your own life. And once you take that power on, you can produce so much more. Think of it on the flip side. Those people that produce small results and that are scared and are hiding inside their little shell, they're really not accountable. They're saying, well, John hurt me, or Susie stole money from me, or this guy just took my product. They weren't accountable for their actions in the first place, and they're just sitting there and they're so small because shit's gonna happen. Things are going to go wrong. But the moment that you take accountability and you take that power back from them, you can produce anything you want. Life is yours. Core principle number 3, simplicity is power. Now, my business is crazy. In fact, I run a couple businesses, plus all of the consulting clients that I step into and help them in their worlds. We all have a million things going on at once. We all have life. We have families. We have problems every day. But the moment that you get really clear on what you do and clear on what happens if, in computer programming, they call this if statements. If this happens, then do this. If I don't have the statement, the computer doesn't know what to do. But the moment that I write that, if I hit this roadblock, I will move here, it becomes really clear, really easy. So the process is trying to break down all of the hectic things that run in our life and bring it down as small as possible. Really, really clear. So when I say simplicity, I'm not talking that we're only having 2 steps in our business or that you're only a one-dimensional being. And you got stuff going all over the time. Yeah. All over the planet, people are jet setting, you're getting calls from Hong Kong because they want to buy some new shoes, whatever your business model is, everything is really hectic. But the moment that we actually put it down on paper and have a plan and a clear map, and we go through our processes, even the worst thing that happens to you, the worst, business catastrophic events, if we have plans and it's planned what we're going to do next, it makes the rest of our lives really simple. It actually takes most of the stress off of us. Just by being really clear in our message, really clear on our product, how we're going to deal with our employees, how we're going to deal with our customer service. All of these things have to be brought into it. But when we write it down,
put it really simple. We know what step to take when we have good times and when we have bad times. All of that gets really clear for us. It just means that we're trying to make everything in life as simple as possible so we can actually enjoy it. Core principle number 4, big money comes from big service. Now, big service to me means that when you have a new client or an old client or a current client, you're always providing them with more than the next person, more than your competition, more service, more love, more friendship, more widgets. I don't really know what that is, but as long as you provide more value than the next person, that's actually when it starts to move. Too many times we get stuck and we just think about our core teeny product. This is our widget. This is our sandwich. This is our online how to make money program. Whatever that is, when we get stuck on this one little thing, well, the next guy comes in, rips it off, and moves on, and you're stuck, shrinking, and shrinking. So many people don't understand that all we have to do is elevate that up a little bit more, give a little bit more service, and all of a sudden it starts to come back in. Now, there's two sides to this. Big money equals big service. That just means that I have more capacity to give. The more that I give to the shelter, the more that I give to my church, the more that I give to whatever that charity is, I actually build more capacity within myself to do more, to be bigger for the next person. Bring that energy back into my business. I'm grateful. I'm happy. I'm, in love, whatever it is that you're looking for, those pieces, the bigger the service, the more return I'm going to get. Now, the core principle is big money comes from big service. So when we're talking specifically about our clients, we're talking about bringing in more value than the money that they're giving you. We've heard this statement 1,000 times, but I'll tell you, in all of the types of consulting clients or all the type of business I've done, everybody forgets this core concept. They just say, what's the least amount I can do for the most amount of money? And those are fleeting businesses in and out. They're not going to stay. They're not going to be lasting. They're not going to have legacy. They're not going to be something you're going to put your name on. In fact, you're probably going to register it as an unregistered domain with a company that's a shell company with an attorney's name on it, not yours, because you're scared as hell of putting your products out. And if that happens, it's not the right product that's going to make you a lot of money. It can make it in the short term. I know some friends that have. But it's not the thing that you're going to be ultra proud of, that you're going to put your name on it and stick with for the next 15 years, which is in essence what we want. We all want legacy. We want to grow. We want to have something for our children or something for our employees. In fact, at one point in time, you want to step out, let somebody else run your business and it still has your name on it and you're still proud of it. Core principle number 5, your capacity determines your creation. Now, let me give you a little analogy on this one. About 5 years ago, I'm, in my early 30s. I'm about 28% body fat. I don't look the way that I want to look. I'm not even happy with it. So what I do is I hire the best nutritionalists on the planet to take care of my diets. And I went to him and I sat down and said, look, this is what I want. I want to look like a Calvin Klein underwear model. And the guy laughed and he's like, you know what, Greg, I know exactly what you mean, but here's what we're gonna have to do. I need to put 5 pounds of muscle on you. I need you to gain more weight in order for you to be able to lose weight. And it didn't make sense to me. It's like, well, what the hell does that mean? So once he explained, well, the moment that I put more lean muscle on you, I'm gonna burn more calories. I'm gonna give you your result. So our capacity is in all of our life, in our family lives, in what we do for our community, in the way that my spirituality, my being connects, in the way that I interact with friends, in the way that I interact in my business. The more I give, the bigger I get, the bigger my creation, the more results I'm going to get back. So by far, our capacity, if we're stuck in our small little circle, this is the results I'm always going to get. But if I want the world, or if I want the universe, or whatever size of dreams that you can come up with, I have to have the capacity to fulfill that. Other than that, I'm just going to burn out. Or worse, I'm going to burn my employees out. Or worse, I'm going to burn my wife out, who's the ex-wife at that point. Or I'm going to burn out my kids, any of my relationships. It's up to me to make sure that my capacity is big enough. And for that, we definitely have to look over your body, eating, growth, what you're doing. Are you addicted to things? Whatever that is, we're trying to shelf all that off of us so that our capacity becomes bigger, because we want those end results, and those end results are huge.
I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. If you'd like to know more about what I'm currently up to and our current programs, head on over to awakentheking.net.